Hey, I am still setting up. In my head, as always, if you haven't figured that out. And my question to most people that, seem to go through this, it's a general question. Why do people fear themselves? Um, just want to know, why do people fear themselves? We talk about recurring family issues and problems. I'm going to stop that. My father did this, and that stops right here with me. My mom did this, but that stops right here with me. But do we ever think about self-loathing? Um, that we fear our own successes. This year for me is about focusing on success, black success, and focusing on the success of who we are as a collective people. But then we have to go to the individual, and I don't know if anybody heard the show on racism, but I'll put that link up here a little later, that we did with Veronica Conway. Hate and fear are the worst cancers in the world. And we don't really talk about it when it comes to the self and how we initiate our own cancers of self-fear and self-hate. And the reason why we don't move, we kind of talk about it from the collective aspect, but the one-on-one element of it. And so I'm just putting it out there. I kind of have an idea. But, it's how we speak to our children. It's how we speak to ourselves. And because of the way our parents may have spoken, our aunts may have spoken, or how our teachers may have spoken to us, we fear who we are. They say in schools that it's a strategy, what I call the ruling elite strategy, is to question the black child. Are you sure you want to hand in your test? A white child can go and hand in the test. Oh, good, I know you did fantastic. And a black child goes, are you sure you don't want to check your answers over? Which makes you self-doubt your intelligence. Your parents may have said that, you can't do it because of the color of your skin. Maybe back in the day, but even back in the day you could, because there's others that did. There's others that were creative, others that accomplished, others that broke the barriers, but your parents said that you couldn't. But somebody's parents said that they could. Or maybe their self-belief in themselves said that they could. And the doors open because I believe in manifestation, I believe in the abundance, and that you can create your own path. So that person, because of the way they thought, became what they were. And if you are living in self-fear and you're fearing yourself, then you're afraid of your own shadow. You're afraid of getting up in the morning. You're afraid of going out and being you totally. Because we come from a world of judgment. No matter what organization you're in, there is a form of judgment. That's why they have awards. Oh, you're the best of the best. But the person that is not the best of the best is not feeling as good as the person that won. The losers have self-doubt, but not knowing that their accomplishments in whatever position that they finished at was the best of the best. And we do this award thing, and we want to compete. Compete is a part of also the division. And not recognizing everyone who lives at their potential. Well, maybe not potential, that lives at their degree of perfection. Because we're all perfect. Are there levels of perfection? No, because we are all perfect. When you start putting levels into things, on a scale of 1 to 10, you start dividing people. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good are they? For that person, they are good at where they're at. And yes, there might be limitations in terms of how far they can go, what they can do, but we have to reward that and know that, okay, you can go this far, but we've got somebody who could take what you've done and take it this far, and that person that far, and that far, and there's nothing wrong with it. Until we get over ourselves from this lower standpoint of being human, and understand that the elements of every human plays a part in the perfection that really doesn't exist of humanity, then we are all good. We are all good. We are all good. From the man living on the street, and that's his reality, and that's his lifestyle, and that's what he wanted to do or be for himself in this lifestyle, from a higher place of being, because we all come here with a mission and a goal, and wanting to experience various elements of life. Some people say they come as birds, if you believe in the Native Americans or the indigenous people. Very spiritual. And so they're a bird, which is why we are all one, right? So if you were to remove thought from your mind of who you are based on the external elements that created your thoughts, would you fear yourself? Would you limit yourself? Would you hate certain elements of yourself? Could you love yourself 100% whole being? A whole created being. And when you think of how we are created and the miracles of life, ask a seed how it grows. It will only show you. It won't tell you, but it will show you how it grows. Ask yourself how you grow. How do you expand? How do you do? How do you change? How do you elevate? If you can answer that without judging yourself, then you're just at a good place, you know? So, profound question comes to my mind that says, why do people fear themselves? When you're backed by the greatest element of this earth, no matter what your faith is. Even if you're atheist, you know that you being you, are the best you that there is. So, why are people afraid of themselves when they live with themselves every day? It's funny, because if they really feared themselves, I wonder if they would actually get up in the morning. But that's not controlled by them, is it? It's controlled by that higher power. That's your backing. That's your energizer buddy. So, peace, everybody. Think about it. Ponder it. Let me know what you think if you like. I love feedback. Peace, and as always, abundantly love.